Noah's flood, people thought of God's promise every time they saw the beautiful rainbow that appeared in the clear sky after the rain. And as God blessed and said, they dispersed here and there and lived, giving birth to many children. Chapter 10 of the book of Genesis introduces a story about people coming together to build a castle and a city to live there. Some people moved to an area called Shinar and said, "Let us not disperse from this place. That's right, we have to live together. And we also have to let our name be known all over the world." How? What did people decide to do? Noah and his descendants originally lived in low houses made of stone and clay. However, the people who gathered in the land of Shinar baked bricks instead of stones. They made hard adhesives instead of clay. Then they started stacking the bricks one by one. People wanted to build a tower. Let's make the tower high. Let's make it so that the top of the tower reaches the sky. In modern times, you might not think that the top of a building would reach the sky. But back then, it was believed that if you kept building higher, it would reach the sky. People built towers high and high, without knowing where the end would be. There were no good tools or machines in the old days, so people often fell and got injured or died while building the towers. But people did not stop building, as if they were going crazy. Isn't it really strange? People originally built castles to protect themselves from wild animals or to find incoming enemies. But the people here were doing this because they didn't want to be scattered, or they wanted to make their name known. God was curious about what they were doing. He came down to the ground and saw them. He thought, if I leave them like this, it won't end with 1 or 2 injuries. And then he decided to stop this. God made it so that people could not communicate with each other. Ulala, bung shung shung, nakadoki korekana, swang buang miwang. People were confused as to what had happened. Since they couldn't communicate, they couldn't call each other's names or do things together. Eventually, they had to stop building the tower, and then they dispersed from each other. The Tower of Babel they had built so high, and their names eventually disappeared. Leaving our names is not something we can do. This is something only God can do. In the Bible are recorded many names of people. Noah is one of them. People who left their names in the book did not live to build a tower or make a name for themselves. They just obeyed the word of God.